Good afternoon again from Arabian Travel Market in Dubai. Very pleased to welcome Mr. Lucas Bobes, Group Environmental Officer of Amadeus. Amadeus is one of the world's leaders in IT, in tourism. Thank you very much for being with us. We are in the year of sustainability in UAE. COP28 is within very few months. Sustainable tourism is something very new across the world, including the Middle East. You are a global player in this regard. What can you say? What can we relay to the MENA region in terms of practices and policies to elevate sustainable tourism as a technology player?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Well, the first thing I have to say is that I was very pleased to see that the main topic of this very conference is net zero objectives, which is something that, if you think about it in perspective, a few years ago would have been almost unthinkable. Nobody even knew it was net zero. So that's already a significant progress. I think we have to approach the subject at a global scale, avoiding silos in which different regions have different concepts about sustainability, but rather using international organizations, trade associations, even governments to try to come and join together in forces, because we need to act together.
Yeah. Technology plays a major role. Many people, including in the energy sector, call on technology players to develop innovation so it can reduce emission or reduce the whole thing and elevate sustainability. You, as a major IT player in the sustainability, in the tourism sector, what can you do in this regard?
Yeah, we actually had a panel yesterday about the role that technology can have. And interestingly, all the panelists, we basically agreed that we need to come to the travelers specifically with clear and transparent information about what is a sustainable travel versus others, so that we all share common information so that we can help travelers understand what is sustainable travel and act on it. So that was a major element. Of course, there are other things beyond our control, because they are not directly related to our business, that are also very important. So, for example, the adoption of increasing proportion of sustainable aviation fuel in aviation, and we may play a role trying to accelerate those kind of things, but it's, of course, the technology per se is a little bit outside of our business.
Partnerships play a major role in elevating sustainability, and in the tourism is no different. What can you tell us in this regard about your partnerships in the MENA region and globally, and what can we learn in this regard?
Yeah, well, fortunately, we are learning about that. I think the industry in general has gone in a transition, arguably, from a situation in which everything related to sustainability was kind of rejected, on the grounds that the business is providing a lot of social and economic benefits. We then transitioned to a situation in which everybody is acknowledging that we have to minimize the impact. And we are now, in my opinion, in a third step that is fundamental, and is to acknowledge that little can be achieved in isolation. If I have the best environmental sustainability program in Amadeus and I implement it on my premises, I have to realize that I don't solve any problem by doing that. I need to join forces with competitors, with trade associations, with partners, with customers, because we have a common objective. And that's a very fundamental element.
In terms of policies, as you know, Europe is working a lot in this regard. Also in the Middle East, particularly in UAE, they are developing lots of policies. Is there any interconnection or cooperation in this regard?
Well, it's true that Europe, especially in the legal front, I think, as far as I know, is quite advanced, and it's actually now thinking of passing new regulation that is going to imply, for example, the reporting of much more information on sustainability, and not only information, but also on plans, on how are we going to act, for example, on net zero targets. And I think more cooperation would be needed to align forces with other regions, because I would say, for example, my contention would be that, I don't know, in other regions like in North America, the focus on sustainability is on other things, more related probably to diversity, things like that. In other regions it's a different thing, and I think it's fundamental that we achieve through international organizations. I don't know, the UN World Tourism Organization, I think, is doing a fantastic job that should be receiving credit in order to achieve these joint objectives, and joining forces with different players in the globe, not only in a certain region that is particularly concerned or others that are not.
Mr. Lucas, thank you very much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.